How you feeling? Yes, sir.
I was gnarly. I ran that boy for like probably 6 miles. Bro had a side stitch and I had like mile 6 or something. And I ran by him. I said, bro, we ain't giving up, dog. And then he started running with me. So let's go.
Dude, I gotta ask, what happened in the swim? I'm like,
yeah,
was it?
Sure.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? It's Jake. We're back in for another YouTube video. I am an amateur triathlete, and this channel is dedicated to my journey in triathlon and in endurance sports. Today, I'm coming at you guys about 7 days removed from 70.3 Eagleman in Cambridge, Maryland. Wow, was it a good day. It was so good. I've been meaning to get around to filming and releasing this video, but just had a lot of thoughts and kind of wanted to let everything set in. So we'll go ahead and get right into it. We'll start with the race morning. So race start was at 6 a.m., which is a little bit earlier than what I have been used to. Race week prior for Rock Hall, I don't think the race started until 7:45 or 8 a.m. So had to get up super early on race day. I was out of bed around 2:30. Race morning breakfast of choice was just a plain bagel toasted with nothing on it, and then a Red Bull. So got that, ate. At my house, I'm about an hour and 15 minutes away from Cambridge where the race is. So we headed down there. About 3 o'clock was our target leaving time. We ended up getting into Cambridge right around 4:15, 4:20. Transition didn't open until 4:45, but there isn't a lot of space downtown in Cambridge to get parked and stuff, so I wanted to make sure we got there ahead of time and we got a good parking spot. For this race, I had my sister, my brother, and my girlfriend crewing me, and also we had a couple friends that were also doing the race. Shout out to Jake Wyatt and his girlfriend Lauren. She came by and was hanging out, so had a great support crew. Was able to get in transition a few minutes early, got in there around 4:40, got out of there around 5, so had a bit of time to chill before race start at 6. Went back to the truck, kind of got warmed up there at our parking spot. We had some decent conditions that morning. It was looking like the water was going to be kind of choppy. It was about 72 degrees with a decent amount of humidity, so I guess could have definitely been better. Not 100% ideal, but we were all expecting the heat in a way, so that wasn't too surprising come race morning. Head into the corral around 5:45, 5:50. My friend Jake that I mentioned, he's a really, really good swimmer. So he was expecting to be around, 25 to 27 minutes. So even though I wasn't expecting to be that fast, I know that I'm one of the stronger cyclists, and I have experimented in race past with entering the corral where I think I may swim, and once I get on the bike, I just have a hard time because I have so much traffic that I have to merge through. So taking that strategy and just pushing myself to the front of the corral, even though I know I don't technically belong there as far as my swim times, I figured that was a good plan just because I could get past, maybe grab some people's feet, and you know, have a decent swim. But one thing we had realized earlier in the morning was that it was no longer wetsuit legal. So looking forward, about a week out from the race, we all thought it was going to be wetsuit legal, but come race morning it was 76.6 degrees and the wetsuit cutoff is 76.1 degrees. So that was a little bit unfortunate because I had not done any swimming outside of my wetsuit in several months, and you could call that lack of preparation, in which it definitely is, but still was a bit of a bummer because I really was looking forward to having a wetsuit swim. But anyway, I digress. We move on to the swim. Get in the water. I got in about 6:01-ish. There was probably only 15 or 20 guys that got in front of me. I realized right from the gun that it was going to be a bit of a choppy swim. So the swim, I'll put a picture up here, but they reversed it from last year, and you go out, you make a left, another left, and then back into the boat ramp. And I'd say for the first stretch out, it wasn't too bad. Then you made the left, started to get a little chop. Then you made the second left, headed back, and that's when we saw the most amount of chop. And it seemed like there were some wanky currents out there as far as making you drift side to side. Every time I would sight, I would be way off course to what I thought was right. And typically I don't have an issue swimming in a straight line, so that was kind of weird. Anyway, I get out of the swim. I realized I had been in there for a long time, but I didn't wear my watch in the swim, which I'll go over why here in a minute. But I get out of the swim, still don't know what time it is. Head into transition. There was a kid there with a little cup of water. I was like, I gotta try to stay ahead of all hydration needs. So ended up grabbing that, chugging it straight to my bike. Had a pretty smooth transition. The only hiccup I will say I had was when I took my swim skin down, I had forgot to take it off my legs before I put my cycling shoes on. Luckily I didn't make it all the way out of transition with my swim skin on, but I realized right before I took my bike and started heading out of transition that I still had my swim skin down on my legs. So I was able to get that around my cycling shoes without having to take them back off. So not too big of a screw up there, but definitely always something that we can work on. Also, to backtrack a little bit, before the swim had 1 Precision Fuel and Hydration, 30-gram carb and 100 calf gel. So that was kind of my last nutrition before the race. That was like about 30 minutes before. Anyway, we come back to exiting transition 2. Now my biking fuel strategy was 3 32-ounce bottles with 100 grams of carbs in each. And then they also had about 1,600 milligrams of sodium. So in total, having about 3 liters of water, 4,800 milligrams of sodium with around 300 carbs. I figured I would see how I kind of handled that. And if I thought I could put down an extra 30-gram carb gel, then I would go for it. But I ended up getting out on the bike, first hour of the ride, passing people left and right. Super motivational, big confidence booster, just passing people left and right because I did have somewhat of a poor swim. I looked down at my power meter. I'm already at around 278 watts for the first hour, and I'm thinking to myself, wow, I feel really good, but at the same time, I know this probably isn't too sustainable for the whole entire ride, especially considering the fact that I need to run well off this. Right about that 1 hour mark, I started to settle in and really dial things back a little bit to kind of preserve myself. On the bike, we had a bit of a headwind out and kind of tailwind back. I wasn't having too hard of a time getting all my nutrition in. I would probably drink every 10 to 15 minutes, you know, maybe half, a quarter of those bottles each time I drank. Then about hour 45 in, I start to check tabs on my legs, hop off the saddle, flex my quads, see how they're feeling. I started to feel just a little bit of cramping coming in, so that was a little bit strange. And also I'd been burping a bit from all the fluid, even though I know I needed it. It was just kind of a lot to take in such a short period of time. So I figured, all right, I better play it safe here. Pedaled back in, still holding decent power, maybe 250, 255, 260, something like that. But by the end of the ride, my average power had come down to about 265, and my normalized was right around 270. So right on target for where I thought I would be. Very happy with that ride. Ended up about 25.2 miles per hour, and I had the 20th fastest bike split on the day. So solid ride, very happy with that. I got in all my nutrition, all 300 grams of carbs, all 3 bottles, and the sodium in the bottles as well. I did not take a single gel on the bike. I mentioned earlier I didn't wear my watch on the swim. That's because I also didn't wear it on the bike for the aero position. Just wanted to make my wrist as aero as possible. So there wasn't really too much to gain by having it on my bike or the swim, so just decided to keep it off and come into transition 2. Now my run nutrition strategy was a little bit different because obviously I don't want to carry quite that much fluid on the run. So get into transition, take a Precision Fuel and Hydration 30-gram calf gel to get started the run. Wanted to get a little bit more caffeine there later in the race to try to combat the perceived exertion a little bit. Actually, before this race, I picked up a pair of Alpha Fly 3s, which I was really happy to be able to pick a pair of those up because I heard great things about them. And I can definitely say after running the race that I'm very happy with them. But anyway, wore them in the race for the first time, headed out onto the run, and right away as I was getting out onto the run, felt the top of my left quad just start to get a little bit of cramping, and it was kind of dangerous feeling. And I kind of realized to myself, I was thinking, you know, I looked down at my watch about a half mile in and I'm running 6:35, 6:40 pace, and I'm just thinking to myself, there's probably no way I can hold this pace, especially not on the day like what we had that day, and it was pretty warm. So I started to kind of dial back things and settle in. Took 3 salt pills directly once I got onto the run right before an aid station, and by about 10-15 minutes the cramping went away. I was really happy about that because that was pretty concerning coming out of transition with those cramps. Even though I took on so much sodium on the bike, I guess I was still just a little bit down on sodium considering the fact that I took those pills and it pretty much immediately went away. This run course is a 2-loop run course, so you go around once, then you go around again, and then you end at the finishing chute. So I guess around mile 3 or 4, I got passed by a guy that I'd spoken to earlier in the swim corral and gave him a little fist bump, said, you know, good job, dude. So he heads out, he dropped me right away, couldn't stay with him, he was hauling the mail. Then I'm still plucking away, running, you know, low 7s, something like that, which I was really happy about. I didn't really know what to expect really after that kind of a bike ride. I haven't raced this distance in a long time. So then I guess a mile 6 to 7, the guy that had passed me earlier, I saw him kind of walking and holding his side, and I hated to see that. So I gave him a little tap on the shoulder, and when I passed him, I said, come on, you're gonna run with me. I told him, I said, we don't give up. And I guess that was the spark to light the fire for him, and he ended up running with me pretty much the rest of the race, caught a second wind, and then eventually dropped me. So I was very happy to have an impact on his race. Great community on course. Like I said, running like the last 6 miles together, and I honestly don't know how I would have got through that second lap without him. It was sick. It was really fun. I guess the hardest part was probably like around 3 miles left. He was just about to drop me. He dropped me with like about 2 miles left, and I was like, you just gotta dig. It's just time to dig. It's too deep into the run. Don't worry about nutrition. Don't worry about anything else. Just make it to the finish line. So that's what I did, and I ended up finishing the half marathon right over 132. I think it was 132.05. That is a big PR for me as far as running a half marathon. I've never actually ran an open half marathon, so I can't really give you guys a fair indication of what I could run for that, but I do know that 2 years ago, a little under 2 years ago for 70.3 Wilmington, in better conditions, I ran at 134 mid, so 2.5 minutes, pretty dang good, especially with a faster bike split. So very happy with that. My run nutrition after the first gel before the run course was just 3 30-gram carb precision gels, and I took them kind of periodically as the run went on. And at every aid station, you would just be shoveling ice down the kit, trying to hold ice in your hands. The guy I ran with, Iron Joe, he actually gave me that pointer on course. He said, grab some ice and hold it in your hand. It'll bring the core body temp down, in which it definitely did. Come across the line in 4:31, I think mid, something like that, and just so stoked. Just what a day. It was honestly probably the most fun I've ever had on a race course, and solidified a lot of things for me. It solidified my ability. It was a big confidence booster. Haven't raced this distance, like I said, in a long while, and to PR in 2 of the 3 disciplines was just excellent. Everybody said that it was a bit of a tough swim, so I'm not really gonna draw my swim off to it being a tough swim. I don't wanna make excuses. I have not been swimming at all. I definitely have a lot of room for improvement there. I'm gonna be jumping back into some swimming here soon, so hopefully we can see some progression there and have a decent, at least acceptable swim in the next race. Something that puts me more in contention than what I was there at Eagleman. So before I let you guys go, I just want to say I appreciate absolutely everybody on course, aid stations. It was absolutely amazing. All the people who came there to support, not only me, but just everybody. The vibe, the energy was insane. So that has a lot to do with it. When you're deep in the cave, you need that. So definitely thank you to everybody who helped and supported that day. If you guys want to know anything more about my race that I may have missed in this race recap, then be sure to drop a comment. And also, if you could like and subscribe, that would be great. I really enjoy making these videos, and if you guys enjoy watching them, that just makes it even better for me. So I'll leave you guys there. What's next, we'll see. We'll be releasing a couple videos in the next few weeks, just more of training videos, but I'll kind of go into a deep dive of what my plan may be for the rest of the season. So I will be releasing, Jimmy and Jamie ran the St. Michael's Half Marathon a couple weeks back, so I will be releasing a video for that as well on the channel. And they are about to run the Grandma's Marathon in Duluth, Minnesota, so we're going out there to support, and I'll get some footage there too. So definitely a lot of things on the horizon. Appreciate the support, and we'll see you guys soon. Peace.